Langholm was the venue for the Border League final this year, and a crowd of around 1,000 made the long trek down on a very wet evening. Selkirk won last year for the first time in over 50 years, and they weren't going to give up the trophy lightly. It was a special occasion for referee John Steele making his final appearance before hanging up his whistle. Andrew Tate was playing well at scrum half, linking well between his forwards and the three-quarters, and Kevin Utterson had plenty of time here to kick for position into Selkirk territory. But Scott Hendry caught it well and decided to have a go himself, but when he reached Greg Minto, he wasn't going to get any further. It was still nip and tuck as we went into the second quarter, and Kelso's best try-scoring opportunity came when Ross Armstrong's clearance kick was charged down by Ewan Ford. Unfortunately for Ford, he couldn't control it, and Armstrong made up for the kick to rush back in time and beat Utterson to the touchdown. But Kelso were playing well and sensed a score. They were trying to break down the pretty solid Selkirk defence, but they couldn't find a way through. When Tate popped the ball out to Utterson, the Kelso skipper attempted a drop goal, but he sliced it badly, and it ended up in the arms of Lee Jones, and that's someone you certainly don't want to give the ball to. And after comfortably rounding an opponent, his pace quickened as he tried to go outside Nathan Trotter. He managed it with ease, and he ran in much to the delight of the many Selkirk fans to break the deadlock, scoring underneath the posts. If we look at it from another angle, Trotter got himself in a good position to defend, but Jones is a master at beating off defenders, and a quick jink and a handoff was enough to clear the way as he strolled in to give Selkirk the lead. Ross Armstrong added the extras, and it was 7-0 with half-time approaching. It's what the game needed and certainly brought the crowd to life, and we had a period where both teams fancied their chances with several attacking moves. Utterson put up a good kick here. Fraser Harkness was underneath it well though and slipped the ball out to Ross Armstrong. He found himself in a little bit of space. He had Ross Nixon outside him, but the pass to Hendry didn't quite go to hand, and that was the final chance of the first half, with Selkirk 7-0 up at the break. The rain came on quite strong at the start of the second half, making conditions a little more tricky, but Selkirk were happy to pound the Kelso defence. Prop Martin Murray here, playing his last game for the first 15, went on a typical run and set up an excellent attacking position. But Kelso were penalised for preventing quick ball, and it looked like a certain 3 points in front of the posts. But Fraser Harkness took the quick one, and to be honest, it wasn't his best decision as skipper on the night. It should have been 10-0, but moments later Kelso were just 4 points adrift. John Steele pinged Selkirk in front of their posts, and Utterson wasn't going to miss from there, giving the Tweedsiders their first points of the game. Space to run in for both sides was rare, but Gavin Craig found some, and he was off up the pitch with men in support. Scott Hendry was calling for the pass, but a big tackle stopped him in his tracks and raised a few gasps from the crowd. Mikhail Hartley made more ground into the Selkirk 22, and suddenly Selkirk were on the back foot. It wasn't the quickest of balls back from the ruck, but when it did come, Kelso stretched their opponent's defence, and when the ball reached Stuart Lang, it looked like the big man would be in. But he slipped on the wet turf, and the chance was gone. Time was ticking down, and Kelso were committed to throwing the ball about, trying desperately to find a way through the well-drilled Selkirk defence. But poor passing sent the ball onto the grass, and quick as a flash, there was that man again, Lee Jones, to hoover up the ball and outpace everyone to go in for his second try of the night, and the one which proved decisive. Scott Hendry kicked the 2 points, and Selkirk had retained the Border League trophy.
It's tremendous, great effort, you know. I think it was a hard-fought battle, you know. It was a real contest, and it wasn't pretty, I don't think so. However, I think the defensive effort of both teams should be commended, and it was fantastic, especially Selkirk at the end there.
Kelso stuck to their game plan. They're good in and about the ruck situation, so they made it hard for us, but as you say, get Jones the ball, and he seems to. He's got the Midas touch. He scores tries for fun, so it's good to have him in the team.
Stuart, I've never ever been so gutted after a game of rugby like that. It was unbelievable. We asked the boys for commitment. They came up, they gave the commitment. Actually, they gave their all to a man, to be quite honest with you. And at the end, we could have won. We maybe lacked just a wee bit of composure in the final 5-10 minutes here. He was hammering away at the Selkirk line, and we didn't get over. Maybe a couple of turnovers, but just a wee bit more composure. And that's the difference in playing this level of rugby. These guys have been playing first division rugby in that level all season. We've maybe played it once or twice in the season, and that, to me, that's the difference between the two teams.
It's important to finish the season like that, I think, because given the past month, we've not been up to speed, and that's kind of topped it off for us. And hopefully we'll get a good rest now. So.
There was at times tonight I actually thought we wouldn't do it, and then it just shows you that spirit and that last 20 minutes to defend our line like that, and then Lee Jones to break away and score. Just what a way to win it.